Greetings, salutations, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Devin, and today we're going to be talking about a script, str_0. Now, to kind of explain what script 0 does, is it returns the closest number to 0. You can feed it up to 16 arguments, and it will return the number closest to 0, negative or positive. Now, you're probably wondering, hey, Devin, why would that be useful, and why are you devoting an entire GML Scriptbox episode to it? Well, I'll show you. Okay, as is tradition, first I'll show you the end product of what we're going to be creating. So, I add a little feature to our little game here that features Happy Harry and Grumpy Graham. So, Happy Harry can, kind of harass Grumpy Graham, and Grumpy Graham will be like, no, go over here. And Happy Harry's like, hey, come on, don't be like that, and nope. As you can see, but anyways, as you can see, we can click around. Grumpy Graham will move to that location. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you how we went ahead and set that up in Grumpy Graham. Now, first thing that we did, I'm not gonna get too in depth with this code because it's really basic. But anyways, we got dest X and dest Y, which is destination X and destination Y, which by default is actually just simply it's X and Y. It defines that on the create event. And then speed equals 5, how fast he moves. Now I'm going to hop on over into the step event here. Whoops. Go away. All right. So we're going to hop on over to the step event here. And as you can see, we have if mouse checked, mouse button left, then destination X is equal to mouse underscore X, and destination Y is equal to mouse underscore Y. Now, as I'm sure you can guess what's going on there is, it sets a destination, that being the mouse X and Y. And then we check to see if the if the X and Y value of Grumpy Graham matches the destination X and Y values, and if not, we're going to move towards that location. Now, you see these is long and kind of drawn out like this. If that looks confusing to you, let me unconfusify it for you. There we go. That probably looks a little bit easier for you to read. In fact, I'll just go ahead and do the same thing right here. And boom. So what we got here is if X is not equal to X, X plus equal to, and then same thing for Y. Now, this is where we're going to set things up. All right, so first we're going to start off. Okay, we're going to do this without our script, because we don't know our needs yet. We're going to just we want a nice. Here's our goal. We want a nice and efficient way so that we tell Grumpy Graham where to go, and he will go there. So okay, we already have our variables set up, so we just got to set up the logic. So if X does not equal dest X, X plus equals speed times sign. First off, if you do not know what this means, what this function does is it returns one of 3 values: 1, -1, or 0. And how it returns is, okay, if you plop a negative number in there, it returns -1. Plop it positive, returns +1. It's a way of it essentially returns the whether a number is positive or negative, and then we can actually change the value accordingly. But then we're going to do destination X minus X. There we go, simple enough. And now we're going to do the exact same thing for Y. Phi. If Y does not equal destination Y, Y plus equals speed times sign dest Y minus Y. Now, the reason why we're putting the dest Y minus Y there, and same thing for X right there, is we got to determine if it's going to be a positive or a negative value, if we need to move one way or the other. This is how we know. So if destination Y is larger than the Y, then it will be, oh God, I'm getting my numbers all mixed up. But anyways, that works. And, it'll return either a positive or a negative number. Now, okay, as far as we know, this looks pretty sound. You go ahead and click on a spot, and, you gotta move right to it. So let's go ahead and run the game. All right, so, of course, we can move Happy Harry around. Now let's go ahead and move Grumpy Graham. Whoa, Grumpy Graham! He's having a seizure. Don't let him bite his tongue off. Oh, no, someone restrain his legs. Okay, so what just happened? Well, let me explain it to you. Grumpy Graham is moving at a certain speed. That speed being 5 pixels, which we, of course, defined right here in our create event. Now, what happens if Grumpy Graham is less than 5 pixels away from his destination? He's still going to move 5 pixels and overshoot his destination. And then all these checks are going to go through again. And what's going to happen? He's going to say, oh, well, I need to move towards my destination. Destination's still less than 5 pixels. And you know what he's going to do? He's still going to move 5 pixels. So what we need is a surefire way to return the appropriate value. Now, by show of hands, those of you out there, how many of you know this function and this function? Min and max. Well, for those of you who don't, min, you can enter in a bunch of values and return the smallest value. Max, you can insert a bunch of numbers, you can return it'll return the largest value. Now, you're probably thinking, Devin, why would you write this script of closest to 0 if you got min? It'll just return the smallest number. Well, doesn't always work. And the reason why is because once you start getting negative numbers into the mix, say we had negative 50 and negative 5. Technically, we want to return negative 5. But negative 50 is smaller than negative 5. So min will errantly return negative 50, and then our guy will overshoot and everything breaks. So, I roll up this little script here that we're just going to go ahead and insert this. So, str underscore. No. Wait, I forgot. We got to make the script first. That'd probably help. Let me get my stuff organized. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and open up script underscore 0. Here it is. Now, it's not too long. Actually, it's not even 15 lines of code. It's actually a pretty small script. I'm going to go ahead and wipe it out, and we'll go ahead and walk through and create this script. So, first off, as with all scripts, we need some variables. So we need I, because we're going to loop through. We're going to set up some loops. Smallest equals 0. Now, I will say this right now. I don't remember where it was at, but this script is actually very loosely based off of something I found in the Game Maker forums. I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, if you need to figure out something, look around on the Game Maker forums. Odds are someone else had something they had to figure out, and it happened to be pretty close to exactly what you were trying to figure out. So, thank you, Game Maker forums, for helping me figure this out. So, first thing we're going to do is set up a for loop. Now, pretty typical. I equals 0. Now this is where we might trip up. Less an argument count. I plus equals 1. Argument count. Now, what we're setting up right here is actually pretty cookie cutter. What this little setup is going to do is it's going to return all arguments passed from the script into an array. And what this allows for is it allows for optional arguments, all the way up to max within 3 lines of code. Very useful. So, values. This is where we're going to put this to use. And it's an array, so we need to make it an array is equal to argument I. I know I said this before. When you're setting up scripts, always try to use the array version of your arguments. They're just so much more versatile. Well, anyways, that's it. Now what will happen is whatever values we input into the script will be stored into this array. Very important. So next we're going to set up another for loop. So for, and this one here is still pretty typical. I equals 0. I is less than. Now we're going to iterate through the array. So we're going to do array length 1D values. Am I still in the... Okay. I plus equals 1. Boom. Now, I know I've explained this before, but this is pretty basic. This is how you iterate through an array in GameMaker. You just call array length. I is less than array length 1D and then values, or whatever type of array it is. And all that does is return the how big the array is. So if I'm gonna go ahead and put basic if statement there. Oh, nope, not mine. Okay, there we go. ABS. How many of you know what ABS is? Well, okay, for those of you who don't, which I'm sure there are some, ABS stands for absolute value. How many of you remember in your basic middle school class talking about absolute value? I never forgot it because I thought it was the easiest thing ever. All absolute value means is no matter what, the number is returned positive. That's right. We are going to be using, we're basically turning all the values positive just for the check. Nothing else. If ABS values is less than ABS values smallest, then smallest is equal to I. To explain what happened here, what we're doing is we're essentially we're iterating through the array, and we're finding what would technically be the smallest number, but we're checking everything as positive numbers. So negative 1 will be checked as positive 1, and negative 120 will be checked as positive 120. Everything is set as if it's just simply positive numbers. Now what this means is, of course, you could have the number 10 and the number -5, but negative 5 is closer to 0, so that's what we want to return. And in this case, it will work because it will check on through. It will see that positive 5 is indeed lower than 10, and it will return -5 because we're only changing it to positive numbers for the check. We're not actually changing the negatives to positives, so they're actually still their original values. Then the very last line, return values smallest. Now, assign smallest, we're simply assigning it the smallest value, or what it's finding to be the smallest value. And okay, so there we go. We've pretty much written up the script. So let's go ahead and insert it. See what happens. So str _ 0. By the way, if one of you guys come up with a better idea for the name of the script, don't be afraid to say so, because I couldn't think of anything. So 0, and then we're actually just going to take this line right here and copy it on over. Now remember, we want is returning the smallest value. So this little equation right here is the speed, the normal speed, and then this is the value that is, or not the smallest value, the number closest to 0. So this is just speed, so that'd be 5 or -5, depending on which way he needs to go. And this here is negative or positive, whatever the distance is between the two. So if the distance is less than the speed value, instead of going at the speed value, it will actually go the exact distance to the destination. You kind of getting that? I hope you are. Very useful stuff. Because once you start using min and max a lot, you start to notice some of their limitations, and this is definitely one of them. Once you start dealing with situations where you gotta get min and maxes with with negative and positive numbers involved, things get very confusing. SQR_0 can really save you. So we'll just go ahead and run it. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and click right here. And as you can see, he's no longer having a seizure. Grumpy Graham is as grumpy as... I can actually kind of hold it and move him around. Now, as you can see, this isn't the best click and movement system by any means, but it is useful for, like, say, moving platforms if you want to be able to assign a location for them to just move back and forth to quite specifically, or if you want to have a very rudimentary AI that just kind of moves around when you set a destination. It's good for that. But yeah, so there you go. That is SQR_0, another little script for your script box. Well, I guess that pretty much does it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Definitely be sure to check out some of my other videos. I don't know why, but my pause video tutorial, the very first one, is just exploded with like 230 views at the making of this video. Now, so I'm making a mental note to be sure to tell you guys, I got some other content there, and I share some other pretty neat stuff. Some of this stuff is a little more advanced, but God, there's just so many tutorials out there on the basics that it's. I want to make sure I bring something new to the table, I guess is what it is. So here I am sharing what I got, and hopefully you guys find it useful. Anyways, I guess that's it. Thank you very much for watching, you guys, and happy gaming.